Well, good evening, everyone. It's Saturday night at Bourbon and Buzzcuts. Once again, it's just me here, and we've taken a few nights off, and glad that you can join me. As you may have seen, I started our own separate Facebook page for Bourbon and Buzzcuts. And pretty soon, I think I'm going to have to start giving some Buzzcuts, or at least give myself one, because it's been a while, and with all the barbershops closed, it's getting a little long. Can't have a man cave called Bourbon and Buzzcuts if you don't have a buzz cut, right? Anyway, tonight we're gonna do some Negronis, and a Negroni is a drink that's one of my favorites, and I usually have it with kind of a twist, because a Negroni, the base ingredient is gin. Well, it's a three-part drink with 3 different alcohols, but there's 2 of the alcohols I really like. Actually, I like all 3, but gin, I've seen different alcohols substituted for it, and we're going to do a couple of different kinds. We got our flight paddle here again. And a Negroni usually has gin. It's usually made up of an ounce of gin, well, actually, however big a glass you have, 2 ounces or whatever, of gin, sweet vermouth, and Campari. Campari is a nice sweet liqueur that you add to Negroni. Is about the only time I've seen it. That a Belvedere, which is basically a bourbon Negroni. And I just call it a bourbon Negroni because that's easier to pronounce. But anyway, and usually you'll put an orange slice in there too. And I don't have any oranges to put in there, so we're just going to do it with gin, sweet vermouth, and Campari. Now, something else that let's go ahead and make that one, I guess, before we get too far into that. And what I like to do is I like them shaken. We've done some other different drinks that are stirred, like an old fashioned. It's just stirred over ice and then you pour it in. But a Manhattan, we did Manhattans a few weeks ago, and we did a stirred wine and a shaken wine, and you can see kind of the difference. One's a little cloudy, one's not. But we're going to go ahead and do some shaken Negronis. And I've got some smaller ice cubes here. We're going to put those in there, along with 1 ounce each of each drink here. Hopefully everybody survived yesterday. We had that crazy weather, but today has been pretty nice. It was nice and sunny out, which really helps. And tomorrow's supposed to be really nice. But then Tuesday, 80 degrees, which is awesome. All right, so now it's a gin. Come on, gin. What's going on here? All right, I'm gonna take that off. Here we go. Got an ounce of gin. The gin isn't too bad if you've ever had martinis or anything like that. So we've got an ounce of gin in there. Put a ounce of sweet vermouth in there. There we go. And then an ounce of Campari. Oh, there you go, a little extra. That's okay. Gonna shake that up so it gets nice and cold on the outside. All right. Yeah, you can see it frosting up. All right, cool. Now I'm going to use one of these nice little round ice cubes in there. Shake this up a little more. There we go. A little straw in there. All right. Let's see. Now we're going to do one with vodka, a vodka Negroni. If you like vodka more than gin, vodka Negroni is for you. Same thing. Your ice. Now vodka, here it is. Ounce of vodka. Ounce of Campari. And an ounce of sweet vermouth. Kind of like a Manhattan. A little messy here. Alright, we'll shake this up. They're not going to end up looking a whole lot different. We've got gin and vodka kind of similar, but there is a big taste difference between the two. Let's put our ice cube in there. All right. A straw, and normally we'd put a slice of an orange in there. All right, now a bourbon Negroni, which is one of my favorites also. All right, we'll start up with some new ice. Okay. Yep. Let's do an ounce of bourbon. There it is. An ounce of bourbon using some Jim Beam. All right. An ounce of Campari. And an ounce of sweet vermouth. All right. We'll shake that all up. Some ice in there. Pour right on the ice. There we go. And a straw. Alright, you can barely tell the difference between the three. We've got gin, vodka, and bourbon. And this is something that I would like to do, you know, if I had people here for tasting. You know, you'd each get your own little paddle, and we'd make up some drinks, and then we would taste them and see what we like best, just for fun on a fun night, just to try it. Hey, maybe once a week you get a couple of people together, and you just try different drinks, and then different different spirits added to it, and see what you think. That's with the gin. I like it. And you can tell the difference with shaken instead of stirred. Shaken, it makes it a little more frothy, or it breaks up the alcohol a little more oxygen in there. All right, the vodka. And you know, there's nothing wrong with using some flavored vodkas, you know, whatever you like. It has a whole different taste, believe it or not. A whole different taste, and actually, I like it a little better than the gin one. Yeah. And then, of course, the bourbon Negroni. Yeah, that's a good one too. So basically, it's a Manhattan with some Campari in it. So there you have it. That's the Negroni, which is basically a Negroni. If you look it up, it'll have gin. It'll have 3 equal parts. 1/3 gin, 1/3 Campari, 1/3 sweet vermouth, splash of an orange, some ice, and there's the drink. It's pretty easy to make. I've seen variations where I've seen them on the menu with vodka in them. And a Negroni is basically a bourbon Negroni, which I call it, is a Belvedere, basically with a different name. And bourbon Negroni is easier to say. So anyway, it's still early on a Saturday. It's not even 8 o'clock yet. I started a little early. Kind of doing these whenever, and they'll stay on the Facebook page, and you'll be able to watch them whenever. But I just want to say cheers. We'll see if we come up with something new. There's still a lot of bourbon drinks that I haven't come up with, or I haven't done. I thought a whiskey sour might be a good one. There's different ways to make whiskey sours. You can do them with just using the sour mix that you buy and add bourbon to it or whiskey to it, or you can make your own by squeezing lemons or limes and using the juice. And then there's actually using an egg white for a whiskey sour, and the egg white adds a more body and frothy to it. And then there's also a mint julep that we haven't made yet in honor of the Kentucky Derby. And one of my favorite drinks that I've made was a Kentucky coffee stout, which had the Guinness stout, and then added some Kentucky bourbon to it, and some coffee liqueur, and it was really good. And there's also a drink called a Kentucky Sunshine, and we'll get into that too. It's more of a summer drink. So still lots of fun things to do, and there's lots of different things you can do with beer that we haven't done, or different beers. Oh, I do have something that I wanted to show you. Was it Hy-Vee today, and picking up some different spirits, and I saw this. It's Iowa Brewing Company, which is a brewery in Cedar Rapids, and it's got an Oreo cookie on the can. I saw that and I thought, okay, yeah, I better try that. Oreo Ja, it looks like. Baltic Porter with chocolate sandwich cookies. So, Mike's favorite cookie jar. Iowa Brewing Company, Oreo cookie. They're doing all kinds of crazy things with beer. So usually when I see something unusual, you know, I'm not going to buy a big case of it. I did buy a 4-pack, and we'll try it out. And when I have company, we'll put it out, and if somebody wants to try it, they can try it too. Or if I really like it, you know, I'll just keep drinking it. Just want you to kind of know there's things out there that are worth trying, other than, hey, I just drink Old Milwaukee and that's all I ever drink, and I'm never going away from it. But I like to try different things. So anyway, give this one a shot, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.